Right now, an exclusive interview. We're hearing from the family of an Edgerton man killed in a bulldozer accident last week. And the Common Council votes on a resolution involving the F-35 jet's move to Madison. What it includes, coming up.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us tonight. We're hearing for the first time from the family of an Edgerton man who lost his life in a bulldozer accident 9 days ago. His family says they're still processing the loss of a man they say was dedicated, devoted, and hardworking. Adam Duxter brings us the story.
That was our first night in the hospital.
Nicole Clift will never forget the first time she met her husband, Brandon.
First thing that I noticed was his smile. Just how good looking he was. He made me nervous when I first met him.
Or the first time she met his sense of humor.
The first 5 minutes of our date, he decided to tell me that he was Amish. And that he, they use some electronics, but they ride around on horses.
Amish or not, it did not take long for Nicole and Brandon to fall in love. And just months ago, the Edgerton couple married and brought into the world a baby girl, Morgan.
He just had to go on and on about how perfect she was. He'd stare at her and say, she's perfect. Isn't she perfect? I said, yes, Brandon, she's perfect.
A proud moment for Brandon's big brother, Matt.
Something he wanted just so much, and yeah, I'm thankful he got the chance to hold her and all that, because I mean, that's just an amazing feeling, holding your kid. And, at least he got that, I guess.
But the feeling wouldn't have time to last. On September 8th, Brandon died at work in an excavating accident. Days after, the Rock County Sheriff's Office revealing prior to his accident, he'd been attacked by bees. He was only 30, and his daughter just shy of 2 weeks old.
He was everything. I mean, he was the most hardworking, kind, loyal guy with just the biggest heart. He'd do anything for anyone.
Tonight, his wife and brother are remembering the man they say was hardworking, devoted, and always there for a friend in need.
Absolutely the hardest days of my life. I kept just waiting for him to call or walk through the door because I didn't want to believe it was him.
Adam Duxter reporting. The Clift family says they felt an overwhelming amount of support, and Brandon's friends who loved and supported him for years are now supporting them. Police say they have identified the person who crashed into an Amish buggy over the weekend in Lafayette County, killing the horse and injuring the operator. Acting on an anonymous tip, the sheriff's department says the driver is a 33-year-old woman from Warren, Illinois. Police say the driver did not stop after the crash. So far, they say no charges have been filed. The investigation is ongoing. Madison School District and its teachers union reach an agreement for a base wage increase tonight. A Facebook post from the teachers union, Madison Teachers Inc., says the union presented a 2.44% cost of living increase last night, and the district agreed to it today. Still has to be ratified by both the school board and the union. The union will have a meeting on Thursday. Members can also ratify that deal through an online ballot. A 65-year-old man is dead after his brother shot him while squirrel hunting in Dodge County this morning. Happened near Mud Lake Road off Highway G in Reeseville. They say the 61-year-old brother says he saw movement, fired his gun, and shot his brother. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt says it's too early to tell if there are any suspicious circumstances. It was the warmest summer on record again for the Northern Hemisphere. According to NOAA, the 5 hottest meteorological summers in the Northern Hemisphere have all occurred in the past 5 years. Paris set an all-time hottest temperature in July, while Anchorage, Alaska saw an unprecedented heat wave where temperatures hit 90 degrees for the first time in history. However, summer this year in southern Wisconsin has gone against that trend. Madison typically averages about 15 90-degree days a year. We've had only 6 of them this summer. A storm that formed in a matter of hours late this morning and early this afternoon has just been downgraded to a tropical depression. Imelda formed in the Gulf near Galveston, quickly becoming a tropical storm, but tonight it has been downgraded. Still expected to bring heavy rain and possible flash flooding through the week. Let's get a look at our first alert forecast now with meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Eric, let's first take a quick look at Imelda, which briefly became a tropical storm this afternoon and now is a tropical depression just to the west of Houston. Maximum sustained winds about 35 miles per hour. The forecast from the National Hurricane Center brings it through eastern Texas, but weakens it. However, it'll still bring heavy amounts of rain and the potential for some flash flooding over eastern Texas. Around here, we don't need any more rain either. So far, things pretty quiet, just some mid and high level clouds for the most part. High temperatures today range from the middle 70s near Lake Michigan before a lake breeze kicked in and dropped temperatures into the 60s to the middle 80s out to the west. La Crosse topped out at 86, as did Black River Falls. Temperatures right now are in the upper 60s around much of southern Wisconsin, a little cooler to the east, a little warmer to the west, but dew point temperatures are in the low to mid 60s, so we'll probably see some areas of fog form. Already seeing that near the Lake Michigan shoreline and also out in the Wisconsin River Valley near Boscobel. Look for areas of fog overnight, low temperatures in the lower 60s. Tomorrow's high temperatures topping out in the lower 80s with partly sunny skies and a little more humidity. That's your News 3 Now First Alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Right now, as public comments are wrapping up, Madison's Common Council is getting ready to vote on a resolution asking the Air Force to reconsider placing F-35 fighter jets at Truax Field in Madison. Maddie O'Neill spent the evening listening to people who both oppose and support the plan. She joins us now live downtown with the very latest. Maddie?
Eric, the 10-minute recess in the meeting is just wrapping up, but that comes after almost 2.5 hours of public comment from dozens of speakers. Many were emotional. Almost all oppose the F-35s and support a resolution from the council asking the Air Force to reconsider choosing Madison as a preferred location. Now, the council will vote on that resolution tonight, which expresses concerns following a recently released draft environmental impact study. The resolution notes minorities and those with low incomes may be disproportionately affected by impacts like increased noise from the jets. Many of those supporting that resolution are worried the noise will be significantly louder than that of the current F-16s, which some say are too loud already.
They bank right over my house and they rattle the windows. And when they go overhead, that's when the card game stops. You pause the TV, you get up to use the bathroom, because there's nothing else you can do till the noise is gone.
Allowing vulnerable neighborhoods to be exposed to the highest levels of F-35 jet noise and pollution flies in the face of our attempts to address Madison's dismal standing in terms of racial and economic justice.
Representatives of the 115th Wing were on hand to answer questions, saying the change in volume would likely be less than 3 decibels in most locations, undetectable to most. A member of the Badger Air Community Council noted that the draft environmental impact statement was done looking at worst-case scenarios rather than practical outcomes and worries about the base's future without F-35s.
If this does not happen, there is no reason for an Air Force base in Madison, and it will close. 1,200 people and $99.2 million of annual impact will leave. There is no plan B without the F-35s.
The busy meeting was briefly interrupted earlier tonight when everyone was evacuated after a fire alarm. The mayor says it was caused by malfunctioning sensor in the jail. Now that the public comment is over, the council should begin discussing the resolution soon. Then it will come to a vote here, and if it's passed, it will be sent to the Air Force as official public comment from the council. The Air Force will make its decision by February 2020. Eric.
Maddie, thank you. The Friends of Pope Farm Conservancy told the town of Middleton they will no longer keep up maintenance there. In a letter they sent August 15th, they say there have been too many differences between them, which led to their decision to withdraw maintenance efforts. The town of Middleton administrator says they will now have to find $10,000 in their budget to put toward maintaining the property.
They have indicated in their letter that they want to pull out for the foreseeable future, but they have left the door open to come back and work with the town. We hope that they do that, but it's entirely up to them.
The Friends of Pope Farm Conservancy board denied an on-camera interview. They said in a statement that the past 2 years working with the town have not been fun, but they hope to reestablish a positive relationship with the town in the future. State Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald is officially running for Congress. He made that announcement today. The Republican hopes to take over for longtime Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner. He's the first Republican to enter that race alongside Democrat Tom Paulzowitz, who lost to Sensenbrenner last year. Other Republicans are also eyeing the seat, including Senator Chris Kapenga, former Governor Scott Walker's son Matt Walker, and Matt Newman, the son of former Representative Mark Newman. Governor Tony Evers is announcing plans to add more than 60 assistant district attorney positions throughout the state to help with heavy caseloads. The state budget funds nearly 65 new positions. Today, the governor announced the positions would be spread out across 56 counties. According to a chart released by the governor's office, Dane County would get 1.15 new positions. The U.S. Department of Justice is suing Edward Snowden over his new book. Snowden's biography, titled Permanent Record, was released today. In the book, he talks about his work with intelligence agencies and leaking secrets in 2013 that led to his self-imposed exile from the U.S. The DOJ alleges the book breaks decades-old secrecy agreements Snowden signed with the CIA and NSA. The lawsuit is not trying to stop the book from being distributed. Instead, the Justice Department wants to confiscate any royalties and payments from the book. Saudi Arabia says half of the oil production cut by attacks on its processing plant have now been restored, and they expect to be fully recovered by the end of the month. The kingdom now says it will present proof tomorrow that Iran was involved. U.S. officials say experts have examined pieces of the wreckage on the ground and have determined the cruise missiles and drones fired at Saudi oil facilities were made in Iran. A developing story tonight. A car smashes into the Trump Plaza. This was in New Rochelle, New York tonight. Workers there say after that car plowed into the lobby, the male driver got out, took a seat on a sofa, saying nothing. Several injuries reportedly resulted from the incident, but none were life-threatening. Alex Trebek says he is still battling pancreatic cancer. The Jeopardy host revealed this morning his doctors have ordered him to undergo chemotherapy once again. He says he lost 12 pounds in a week, and his, quote, numbers went sky high, prompting more treatment. Last month, Trebek announced the end of his first round of chemo for stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Still ahead tonight, a new program at a local hospital using music to help heal its neonatal intensive care unit patients. The story next. A new program at Meriter Hospital is bringing comfort and normalcy to patients and their babies. Amy Reed shows us how hospital staff use music to heal in the neonatal intensive care unit.
Becoming a parent is full of the unexpected. Chase and Brittany didn't know they'd be here at all.
We weren't sure if we were going to have kids or not, but so I always thought that Philip was just like our little miracle.
Baby Philip came early at 29 weeks, and if they didn't expect him to begin with, they sure didn't picture this.
The hardest thing is going home every night, not knowing kind of like what's going to happen tomorrow.
Through it all, they've leaned on music.
I always found comfort listening to music, so I wanted to make sure that I incorporated that into Philip's life.
The hospital is doing the same.
Do you want to start with You Are My Sunshine?
Meet Carly. She's the NICU music therapist. Together with mom, dad, and baby, she uses music to heal.
There's research that shows music can reduce stress. It can, and that's seen in like reducing their heart rate, improving their breathing rate, and their oxygen saturation. So basically they're slowing down their breathing and improving how much air they're getting. So they're getting deeper breaths with music.
You are my sunshine.
Not only does it help with vitals, it gives families a chance to bond.
Sometimes parents can lose their identity as the role of the parent. And so I come in to empower them to be able to see that you're the only one that can do this for your child.
For baby Philip, Carly put together a song just for him.
We will cherish our time.
Rewritten from the song Brittany sang while she carried him.
It's something that we can kind of bring with him through it as he grows up, and eventually sometime tell him the story about, what happened.
Though every moment brings more of the unexpected, like every parent, Chase and Brittany are learning that can be okay.
And that helps me, be more accepting of what happened. Even though it wasn't the ideal situation, it still turned out pretty well.
Soon they know this will be behind them. Their little baby they never knew they'd have, they'll bring home.
I feel like with Chase and I, this is like our love in physical form. It's our little Philip.
And the music they'll bring with. In Madison, Amy Reed, News 3 Now.
This music therapy program is a pilot that's set to expire at the end of the year, but if parents like what it does for their babies, Meriter may adopt it permanently. Well, we turn now to weather. That humid, muggy air sticking around with us, Gary, and that usually means like steam on the windows outside the house when we wake up.
And fog early in the morning,
right,
too. We might see some of that. In fact, we're already seeing some patchy fog across parts of southern Wisconsin. Visibility down to 2.5 miles down to the Wisconsin River Valley in Boscobel. Most of the major reporting stations not seeing too much fog here. Also near the Lake Michigan shoreline, 1/4-mile visibility right now in Sheboygan, 3-mile visibility in Kenosha. But rain right now pretty much away from Wisconsin. A couple of sprinkles up northeast or northwest of Rhinelander is pretty much about it. But we could see some more rain tomorrow night into Thursday morning. Latest computer models are backing off on the amounts, keeping the heavier amounts to our north and west, but generally around 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain expected over southern Wisconsin. Some amounts in excess of 1 inch possible and a heavier shower or thunderstorm. And then we'll see another round of showers and thunderstorms, especially Saturday into early Sunday as a cold front comes through. That'll bring another general 1/2 inch of rain, but some isolated 1 or 2 inch amounts in heavier showers and thunderstorms. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Cam downtown Madison. Pretty quiet out there. No fog, at least yet here in Madison. High today 79, the low 59, well above the average of 71 and 50. And right now we're sitting at 68 degrees. Skies are clear. Humidity at 84%, but the dew point temperature in the lower 60s. So as those temperatures continue to drop, we'll probably see some areas of fog form. Strong Hurricane Umberto right now has upgraded to a Category 3 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour, moving east-northeast at 12 miles per hour. The forecast track will take it just northwest of Bermuda, and with with maximum sustained winds of 115 miles per hour and gusts to 140 miles per hour. And Bermuda will be on the strong side of the wind circulation. Hopefully the highest winds will stay north and west of there. And then it'll move back out in the northern portion of the Atlantic Ocean and race to the north and east, but still maintain a lot of strength. In fact, by Sunday night, it'll probably be in the northern Atlantic, heading toward perhaps Ireland. And still, look at the maximum sustained winds, 50 miles per hour with gusts to almost hurricane force. Temperatures this afternoon were much above normal. Temperatures in the upper 80s to around 90 degrees. Des Moines hit 90 out to our west. We were in the upper 70s here, a little cooler near Lake Michigan, and current temperatures now are generally in the 60s to the lower 70s. Forecast for tonight calls for partly cloudy skies, some patchy areas of fog forming, low temperature dropping to 61, and then tomorrow will be partly sunny, warm, and humid with a high temperature of 81. On future track, things pretty quiet overnight other than some areas of fog forming. Low temperatures in the lower to middle 60s, high temperatures tomorrow in the lower 80s. Tomorrow night we'll see some showers and thunderstorms late at night into the morning on Thursday, and then Thursday will clear out in the afternoon. High temperatures will be around 80. Rainfall amounts, well, the very latest computer models are now bringing those amounts back up to around an inch generally. We'll have to see if that holds true. Otherwise, the 7 to 10 day forecast calls for warm and humid weather through Friday and Saturday. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday into Sunday morning will give way to temperatures that'll drop back into the 70s and then 60s by the end of next week, with a drop in the humidity, too.
All right, Gary, thank you. Well, the Brewers get a boost in their push for the playoffs tonight. We'll have the story coming up in sports.
Only 12 games left in the regular season for the Brewers. They're right there for the playoffs. 1 game behind the Cubs, only a game and a half behind the Nationals for the wild card spots, and the Brewers start the night only 3 games behind the Cardinals atop the Central Division. Brewers host San Diego again, and Brandon Woodruff is back for the first time since July, and he looks good. He pitches only 2 innings, but strikes out 4 Padre batters. 1-1 in the 7th. Mike Moustakas does it again. 407-foot homer to right, wins the game. Final score, Brewers 3, Padres 1. Other results to concern the Brewers' playoff chances at Wrigley Field. The Reds have just beaten the Cubs, so the Brewers and Cubs are tied for that second wild card spot. In St. Louis, the Nationals beat the Cardinals 6-2. Michigan plays Wisconsin at Camp Randall Saturday morning at 11. Michigan is the 3-point underdog. Jim Harbaugh's club has had a lot of trouble winning at Camp Randall. Remember the last time they were there, Harbaugh's young son was sent to tears by Michigan's disappointment. Lately, if they play in Madison, Wisconsin usually wins.
The challenge of this game is big. So playing in Camp Randall's a tough venue. You know, it's a tough win to get. You know, we haven't had, I don't know, what is it? We haven't won in 4 or 5 tries. So just a big game for us. At Camp Randall, we haven't won 4 or 5 the last times we've been there as a team, as a university.
The Packers host the Denver Broncos this Sunday at noon at Lambeau Field. They haven't exactly lit the world on fire with their offense. The Packers have a total of 3 points in the second half of their 2 games.
I know everything hasn't been, we haven't done as well as we'd like to on the offensive side of the ball, but I still have a lot of confidence in the players that we have out there. So anytime you have confidence in those guys, I think you're going to tend to be a little bit more aggressive. There are a lot of plays that we're close on.
This week's Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week is undefeated Verona at 1-loss Sun Prairie. We'll have the game live on our website, channel3000.com, 7 o'clock Friday night. We'll also have 2 other games streaming Friday. We'll have Edgewood at Stoughton, DeForest at Sauk Prairie. That's live Friday night, 7 o'clock, channel3000.com. Girls volleyball tonight in the Rock Valley. It's Edgerton at McFarland in the first set. Edgerton will go with the overpass. McFarland's Claire Johnson finds an open spot on the court for a point. Spartans up big. Later, Edgerton's Carly Redmond hits it back on McFarland twice for the kill. Crimson Tide coming back. Then McFarland's Lizzie Fortune and Katie Hildebrand, another overpass, and Hildebrand is there for the kill. Final score, McFarland 3, Edgerton nothing. And a battle of Monona Drive as La Follette takes the short trip to Monona Grove. Second set, La Follette's Claire Amaral sets Paige Jensen, who goes to the kill. And the Lancers are up early. Later on, though, Monona Grove's Jada Braun to Alyssa Majeski for the tip, for the point. Silver Eagles tied up. Then Monona Grove's Alyssa Smith with the service ace. Monona Grove tops La Follette tonight. And we'll be right back.
Gary rejoins his final check of the forecast.
Some fog starting to form out there, but temperatures are still pretty comfortable. Upper 60s here in Madison, but dew point temperatures are in the lower 60s, so as those two get closer together, see some fog forming already, seeing that happening near Lake Michigan, down to a mile visibility right now in Boscobel. Temperatures low 80s the next few days, some shower and thunderstorm chances tomorrow night into Thursday morning, slight chance Friday, better chance Saturday into early Sunday, and then generally dry much of next week, but temperatures will turn cooler.
Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10. Have a great night.